What's up, guys? It's been a little while. I have been off doing the Florida house slash studio, and I just really haven't had any content to post. And so instead of just trying to come up with stuff, I just said, I'll take a little break. So, anyways, I flew back into New York a few days ago to, well, really kind of like restage the house into something that's a little bit more, you know, friendly to buyers because we are going to be selling this house, which includes a studio. So over the last few days, I turned the control room into a home theater. So I got a whole bunch of home theater speakers, subwoofers, receiver, put these chairs in here, took all of the studio gear out, and all the, like, my electric drum kit was in here, the guitar amps, all that stuff. And I had to move it into other rooms and kind of hide it so that I could make this a theater, because yesterday the realtor and the photographer came to take pictures of the entire house so we can list it and sell this to somebody else. Now, by the time this video comes out, the house will most likely already be, all the showings will be set up, and we might even have, some offers on this house. So that means I am going to be permanently moving to Florida, which me and my wife are super excited about. When we're not working, we are outside. Last summer was like the perfect realization that we just love to be outside, which is the reason why later in the fall we ended up, coming up with a plan to be able to buy a second home in Florida. And then we went down there. We've been down there for like 6 months now. And, at this point we were just like, it's just so nice. And it's just more of the place that we really want to be instead of cold New York. So what does that all mean? All right. So the reason I was going to have a much smaller little studio desk, I was going to be taking my analog gear, and I had to split it between, this New York studio and then the one in Florida. So I take, all my gear, essentially split it in half. Half would go there, half would be here, so that I can kind of work back and forth. This was going to be maybe a little bit more the Dolby room, and then the one in Florida be a little bit more the 2-channel, or I'm sure they'd both be kind of both. But anyways, that's why I was like moving this smaller studio setup, so it was easy for me to go back and forth. Essentially just travel with a laptop, and, which would make obviously things a lot easier on me. But now that I'm not going to have two studios, I'm going back to a big studio desk again. So the current studio desk was 5 bays. So there was 5 separate sections that I could put gear in. This one, I'm just going to crunch down a little bit. The control room, there's only one room in this Florida home for me. So there's not going to be like a separate drum room. And the room's a little narrower. So I'm not going to do 5 bays. I'm going to do 4. So there'll be a 4-bay desk. And then I'm going to have maybe 2 small racks on the side of me. Just because, like I said, the room's smaller. I'm not going to have like this big desk storage thing behind me. I will still have storage in there, but just won't be as big. And if I want to try to store all the stuff I currently have, I have to find a way to either get rid of some stuff or find some other unique storage solutions. So I will be building, of course, the brand new studio. I have a brand new studio series build on that whole thing, but it'll definitely be more based around acoustic treatment and some really cool ideas that I've thought of how to build in storage and tables and all this fun stuff that, of course, I'll be showing you guys soon. So just because the room is going to be smaller, I have to make more like multifunctional spaces. So, I can't just have all acoustic treatment like I have in here and have very little storage. So this next studio has to have acoustic treatment and also have storage built into it, and make that unique and still look cool but still be super functional. There's still like all my drum hardware, mic stands, microphones, all the cabling that I'm still going to be recording. I won't necessarily be recording artists, but I still have to have all that stuff, because I'm still going to be recording drums regardless. And I love to record percussion and all that stuff. So I have to be able to, make the space really multifunctional, not to mention, I have the 2-channel system. Of course, I'll be doing 2-channel audio like normal, but, I want to get into Dolby. So that's a whole nother system. And, it's going to be unique. Also, because it's Florida and I've had last 6 months of sun every day, I feel like I can't just have it like this studio where there's no windows. So the Florida studio is also going to have a window, which creates another problem because it's a reflective surface. So I got a really cool way of, the TV is going to have an acoustic panel behind it, and the TV will essentially go into the window, acoustically treat that window, create some soundproofing. It'll also be the big monitor, but then with some linear actuators and almost like a garage door system, it will pull out and then drop down, and then the window will open so that, if I'm cleaning or I'm doing one of my many remodels of the studio, rewire, redo things, you can have the window open. It'll also be cool when I'm mixing. There's kind of like the theory, if you're always looking at the screen, you're kind of visualizing what's happening, you're not really truly hearing. So this will actually take that monitor and it essentially hides it. It'll still be on, but it'll be hidden behind the desk. And, maybe that'll help a little bit in mixing. I don't really know. I've always had the screen, so it's tough to know how that's going to work. But it's kind of like one of the effects of having, still wanting to have a window, but of course cover it up, some of the time. But anyways, that, and of course I'll be building all the acoustic treatment on the ceiling, the back wall. And then I have some really cool ways of all this acoustic treatment is staying in this room. The person that's buying this house gets all this treatment, all the studio monitors, except for the Dynaudios, are staying. All the video monitors are staying, all the storage in the back, essentially pretty much the way it is. But this new studio is really just taking a bedroom and making it into the best possible studio space that you can do without ripping down all the drywall and doing all this crazy soundproofing. So it's really going to be like this, this thing that I've never really done before, except for back when I very first started and I had to convert my first studio when I moved out of my parents' house. I converted a bedroom into a studio. Actually, it was more like the living room, but whatever, it's a room. So I got all these ways of building this acoustic treatment on the walls and the ceiling without having to mount everything to the walls. It's all going to be freestanding, including all of the ceiling panel won't be screwed into the ceiling. So I think this is a really amazing way of being able to, maybe you rent, or maybe you don't stay in a place very long and you don't want to destroy all the drywall. So this is kind of going to be a way around it. And of course, we're going to deal with all the electrical, all the fun lighting, all the acoustics, treating the room, checking it on room correction software and doing all that stuff. And this time I promise I'll show that entire process. But anyways, so let me show you guys what I turned the control room and the drum room into. So here it is. This is True Sound Studios. It is now a home theater. So we got a couple nice leather chairs in here. That's a little dog bed, but it's just got a whole bunch of home theater speakers, which I actually originally had back when I was building the studio. Dual subwoofers, a little extra acoustic treatment there. More subwoofers. Now this gear, I needed to put something over here, so I threw this rack in with studio gear. Obviously that's not staying, but soffit mounted speakers are staying, all those video monitors, all the acoustic treatment. Got more of these Polk audio speakers, more Polks in the back. So this would be a really great room for somebody. They can add in the Atmos speakers in the top, throw in a center channel, and you have, you could do 9.4.1 in here, or 0.2. So it would be amazing home theater room. Plus it's soundproofed, acoustically treated. You know, I'm leaving all this storage. Everything back here is staying. I'll take the True Sound signs, obviously, and take those vinyl graphics off. But yeah, so they're gonna get this, and then we go into the, you know, once was my drum room is now kind of like a little studio. Maybe you can call it a podcast studio, voiceover studio. I left the vocal mount stand so that somebody could easily record in here. This is where some of my gear went. You know, I put some of the gear in these racks, put my guitar amp in here, and then all of the drums are up there where they normally went. So yeah, so the drum room is now turned into like the little mini control room, which is nice because when I come up here to start packing, you know, at least means I could technically work in here if I wanted. But so yeah, so this this is so strange to me to look at, but you know, it is now a home theater. So that is it. That's, you know, that is what I've been doing, and that is our new plan. And, you know, I know some people will say, oh, you know, Florida's risky with the hurricanes, but this house we have rebuilt. I mean, it withstood the hurricane. Let's be very clear. It is 100% a concrete house with a 2-foot poured concrete header that has these massive brackets holding in this entire truss system. I re-plywooded it with 5/8 plywood, so it's even heavier. Restructured and fixed anything that was wrong with this house. We put a very heavy-duty metal roof on this house, all hurricane impact windows and doors. This house is a, you know, it is, I don't want to say maybe twice as strong, but it is significantly stronger than it ever was. And so we feel very confident about it. Of course, we're not going to stay during the hurricanes, but to us, having, you know, maybe a hurricane or a tropical storm every year or whatever it might be is worth it with the amount of gorgeous sunny weather and the lifestyle that me and my wife love to lead. Plus, you know, for all the drum sampling that I like to do, you know, it's really difficult to do all that stuff outside, because I like to do the drum samples outside now and record my drum kit outside, because there's just so many cool places to record in. You know, it's really tough because the weather is just so, you know, it could be 80 degrees one day and 40 the next. And, you know, there's so much stuff I like to do, and me and my wife love to be outside. I skateboard and bike everywhere. They're electric skateboard and bike, so let's be clear. I'm not like doing that much effort, but I love to do it. All the stores are super close to us. We just, you know, we really love it for right now. Our kind of track record has been every 4 or 5 years we end up moving anyway, so who knows what'll happen. But yeah, so anyways, I just wanted to give you guys this update. I'm going to be building a new studio desk. I'll show you guys that entire process. I'm going to be building these racks, which are going to be very similar to these racks. So they're going to be on an angle, you know, made out of some nice wood. I'll show you guys how, you know, I'm going to build those. That'll be a separate video. I'm going to do some new type of acoustic diffusion. Of course, doing a totally different design for the acoustic panels on the walls. These are going to have waveguides in it that I've been kind of researching and doing some ideas on. So all the wall and, well, all 4 wall treatments will be at least 8 inches thick now. So that'll be a change. Still doing bass traps, stuff like that, but got some new options for lighting that I think are gonna be really cool. Of course, the drop down TV, all these like multi-purpose stuff with shelves and storage, and, you know, just all these really fun ideas that I've been thinking about for the last 6 months. So got a ton of content coming up. And of course, maybe I'll make a video of me packing up the studio and getting it out of here. And everything's, you know, going good. And, I can't wait to build my new studio. I have been working this entire time, though, obviously not like full time, because I've been working on the house. But when I built this house and studio, I just totally shut the studio off. This time around, I have been working. So not, like I said, not a crazy amount of projects I can do a week and work on the house, but I have been. So anyways, guys, I'll keep you updated. And look for those videos coming up you know, maybe in the next month or two or something like that. And then, of course, as soon as I get rolling with those, they'll come out very frequently. So, guys, thank you. I hope you guys are doing good, and I'll see you guys in the next video.